today on Dr. Phill. She's head over heels
Aaron Mantini is the love of my life for all time.
with a man she's never met.
He's my man. It's my life.
He doesn't exist.
You don't know that.
But
My dad is turning in his grave.
her stepdaughter thinks she's lost all of her father's money.
She sent him over $200,000.
Is that true?
Yes, and if I had to do it again, I'd do it again.
To a scam artist.
Let it hit, UK.
As long as he's in my mind, he exists. Go to hell, Kathy.
What she hates
You're not mad at me, are you?
I don't even know you.
is people saying he's not real.
Why don't you get a life?
We'll leave her out of it for a minute.
Well, get her out of here then. I hope you die before you walk out that door.
No, you don't.
Oh, hell, I don't.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by, Dr. Phill.
I'll try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
In 5, 4.
I am not giving up on you.
Go, Dr. Phill.
Okay, take a look at these cell phone texts. Kay, okay, love, 15 minutes, my love. Aaron, yes, my love. Kay, love you. Sounds like a pretty standard exchange between a couple where one person is waiting 15 minutes to see the other person, right? Well, let's read some more. Aaron, please wait, my love. Are you still at the Western Union, my love? Kay, I am. Aaron, are you there? Please talk to me, my love. Okay, it now seems like one person is trying to track down the other. Happens all the time. Well, let's read some more. Aaron, please, you can go and get the money now, but if you're asked what the money's for, you just tell them it's a loan from a friend that you want to use it to get a Ford car. And also how long you've known the sender. Just say 15 years and you talk to her once a month. Now, what started off as an innocent cell phone exchange starts to seem a little shady, right? Would it sound even more suspicious if you knew my first guest, Kay, has never, ever met Aaron? A man she calls her husband. Well, she's never met him in person. She doesn't even have a photo of him. Kay says she hopes this can all be explained in a logical way and wants me to help prove to her stepdaughter, Kathy, that Aaron Mantini, a man she met online just a little over a year ago, is the real deal. Take a look.
I met my husband, William, in the early 70s. I loved him. I was never crazy in love with him. We laughed together, we traveled together. We had a good life. In 2011, William passed away. We would have been married 41 years, 2 days after he passed away. I sold the house and moved closer to Kathy, William's daughter. In December of 2013, 2 days after Christmas, I became very ill and had to have emergency surgery. They told me I had 12 to 24 hours to live. After the surgery, I looked at things a lot differently. I wanted to fall in love. I had never been in love before, and I had never had anybody be in love with me. In the beginning of 2014, I joined a dating site. When I first went online, it was kind of scary because you hear all these horror stories. But in March of 2014, I met Aaron Mantini, and we fell in love with each other. I know in my heart, I believe it with everything I have in me, that he will be here. I don't know when, but he will be here.
So exactly who is this mystery man, Aaron Mantini? Kay is so in love with, and why does he need her financial support?
Aaron Mantini is the love of my life for all time. He's like Prince Charming. When I first saw his picture, I thought he was extremely attractive. 6 foot tall, light brown hair, very beautiful haircut. He wears glasses, very well dressed. And he was holding a book in his hand, which very much impressed me. When I first got the email from Aaron, I thought, wow, he's way out of my league. And he said, no, my darling, you are not out of my league. And that makes you feel, whoo, I am worth something. We immediately became exclusive. I took my profile down and so did he. Aaron told me he was born and raised in Belgium. His birthday is March 3rd, 1944. He's 71. He is a widower. His wife died 9 years ago from cancer, and he has no children and no more family left. He is a very highly educated man, and he's been traveling for business in Africa and the UK and Poland. He told me he's an accomplished skier. He likes to play golf. He likes to read. The first time I heard his voice, it was like fireworks went off. He has a very deep, very rich voice, and when he says, "I love you," it just gives you chills. Shortly after we met, he said, "I want you to be my wife." He said, "I dream of you being my wife." I have been in a relationship with Aaron for a year. I have no photos of Aaron. The last time I spoke to Aaron on the phone was probably April of 2014. We have never met.
Okay, now we can talk about him in a minute, but let me talk about you first.
You might not want to.
Well, yeah, I do.
Oh, have it.
I want to know a little about you. So, you've been married twice before.
Yes.
Right? And you're married to your first husband for how long?
12 years.
12 years. And that didn't go so well.
No.
So you eventually get a divorce, right?
I ended up in the hospital. I tried to take my life. And that's when my minister got a hold of this good psychiatrist, and he brought me out of it, and I decided, not worth it.
But that changes who you are.
It definitely changes who you are.
Changes how you feel about yourself.
It did at that time, yes.
Yeah. So you did meet another man. In fact, you met him at the hospital?
I did. And I won't say I fell in love with him. I didn't. I loved him because he was a good man, but I never fell in love with him.
But you did get married.
We got married.
Blended 2 families, 6 children. And you two were married how long?
Like 2 days, being 42 years when he died.
Okay, and he passed away after 42 years of marriage. Wow.
It was a shock.
Yeah. Okay, and so how long after he passed before you decided, well, I'm going to put my hat back in the ring and try online dating?
It was probably 3 years.
3 years? And why? Why did you decide?
Well, I had met a man where Kathy worked. I really liked him. In fact, I love the guy. I mean, not as a lover or whatever. He's just a nice guy. We had hit it off really well. And I think that turned it around because I seen that there could be a man in my life. And like I've told Aaron many times, I've never been in love. I've never fell in love. I love somebody, but I never fell in love. And when I fell for her, I did.
Yeah, so you'd never really been in love. And so here you are, you've been through one marriage for 12 years, another for 42. Never been in love, and so you thought, maybe it's my time.
That's what I thought.
And so you go online. And how long had you been on before you meet Aaron?
Probably a month.
A month. And how long had you been talking to him, connecting with him before you felt something you hadn't felt before?
It was immediately. It was almost immediately.
Really?
It really was.
After all 12 years, 42 years, all of this time, and then almost immediately, this person triggers something in you.
He did.
What was it about him?
I think he was a gentleman. He was, he treated me like a lady. To this day, I've never heard that man say a cuss word.
Really?
Never. He doesn't even get angry. And if I do, he'll say, calm. Please be calm, my love. Please be calm. Don't do this.
Calls you my love?
Yes. Diana, my love.
You saw a picture of him?
Yes.
Handsome?
Not strikingly. He's just, he's good looking. He's neat, classy looking guy.
Slender, brown hair?
Slender, brown hair, wears glasses.
Brown eyes?
6 foot tall, brown eyes.
Yeah. And, but it was his personality. It was the way he spoke to you.
And we had things in common. We both love to read. He likes to play golf. I do. And he's a skier, which fascinates me. And
skier, golfer, active. And so you two started talking, and you would talk on the phone for a long period of time, right? Hours, sometimes
we would talk.
a day. For months, right? I mean, you talked a lot.
No, we didn't. We talked for about 3 months. We talked on the phone, and then when he was overseas for so long, he started texting and emailing.
Okay. Where was he when you first started talking?
He was in Missouri.
And you were where?
In Illinois.
Yeah. I've got a globe.
I've got one right here.
Missouri and Illinois aren't very far apart.
No.
I mean, why not go see him? Or
We
him
were.
come see you?
When we first got in contact with the other, I left. I went on a trip, and when I was on a trip, he said, "When you get back and I get back, we're going to meet. Do you want to meet halfway? You want me to come there, or do you want to come here?" He said, "Well, we'll decide when you get back." And during that time, that's when I learned he had to leave the country.
Yeah.
We had made plans to meet.
That seem odd to you that
No.
you've not met him?
I felt like I knew him as well as I know myself.
You weren't feeling like you were buying a pig in a poke?
Nope, sure didn't. Still don't.
Because you don't feel like you kind of want to look this boy over a little bit before you...
No, I didn't.
Because what if you get him home, you get him unwrapped, and he's like... And later,
He's my man. It's my life.
He doesn't exist.
You don't know that.
Let it hit you, Kay. He does not exist.
As long as he's in my mind, he exists. Go to hell. Daddy.
Exactly.
he would write to you, and he was a good writer, right?
Beautiful writer.
I have some examples. Can I share them?
Sure.
He wrote you once, he says, "I have tried 1,000,000 times to put into words how I feel for you. It's so hard to describe such an intense emotion. I knew from the day we met on here, my love, that you were meant for me. I can't wait to spend forever with you. You are my life, my love, my soulmate, my heart, my reason for breathing. I love you, Diane Kay, with everything I am."
Mm-hmm.
That'd turn a girl's head.
Definitely. Turns an old woman's head, too.
Turned your head.
Definitely.
Yeah. And you would write back to him similarly.
Similarly, yes.
Yeah. And when you two would exchange these texts, you were starting to think, okay, finally, I'm feeling something.
Right.
And you said when you heard his voice, it was like fireworks went
It was
off.
like the atom bomb went off.
Yeah.
His beautiful voice.
So it was after, did he have an accent?
Oh, yes. Beautiful accent.
What was his accent?
I'd say it's between a French and a German,
Oh, okay.
something in there. But he has a very deep, very smooth, very clear voice. It's like it would be a singing voice. And when he says, "I love you," it just it takes everything away.
Okay. And soon you start talking marriage.
Very soon.
Like how soon?
We was probably 3 months into a relationship, or a long-distance relationship, when he wanted to get married.
3 months?
Mm-hmm.
Now, come on, you and I have been around a while.
A little bit.
We've been up and down the track a few times. That seem odd to you that
No.
you've not met him?
No. I felt like I knew him as well as I know myself.
You weren't feeling like you were buying a pig in a poke?
Nope, sure didn't. Still don't.
Because you don't feel like you kind of want to look this boy over a little bit before you...
No, I didn't.
Because what if you get him home, you get him unwrapped, and he's like,
Then I butcher him.
yeah? Because I know Robin looked me up and down pretty good.
Well, it wasn't we were going to get married at that instant, but he wanted to get married as soon as he got back.
Yeah.
He said, this is what he wanted in life. He said, because according to him, he had never been in love. He said, "This is the first time I have ever felt for somebody like I feel for you." And he said, "You're so caring, so loving, and so sweet." He said, "You come off to me as somebody that I would never have thought of marrying."
Well, Diana, you wrote to him on May 15th this last year, so it's not even been a year. You wrote to him, "I hope I'm not bothering you, but I have a question. I read your emails every night, and in one of them you mentioned me wanting you to be my husband. Do you really want to get married? You know I'm madly in love with you, and I would love to marry you." And so he writes back, and he says, "Hello, Diana Kay. Thanks for your email. As you're not bordering me, and if I meet you, I can't wait to marry you, my love. Love you with all my heart." And then same day at 3:38, a little later, you wrote, "Thank you, my precious Erin. I would love to be your wife. Being part of you and sharing your name would be wonderful. I love you for that. I can see us married."
Yes.
So that was kind of where you two talked it over right there.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, you added Mantini to your Facebook. You put up a Facebook
Right,
post.
well, the only reason that was is because it wouldn't accept my name. I tried everything to get my name in there, and it would not accept it. It kept blocking it, blocking it. And I said something to him. He said, use mine. So I did.
We already had a Facebook page.
I had one, but I wanted to get rid of it. There's too much junk coming in on it.
Yeah. So you put up Diana Mantini.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He calls me Diana Mantini.
Yeah. Okay. Kay's stepdaughter, Kathy, believes Kay is losing all of her father's hard-earned money in the process of falling in love with a stranger. Now Kathy is going to join us next, and there's some disagreement here. These two, they're not seeing things eye to eye right now. I just warn you ahead of time. We'll be right back.
I'm not saying.
My mother told me she would never get married again, and this Aaron guy came along and that all changed. One breath she told me she met Aaron, and the next breath she said she had never met Aaron. I knew right then this person was scamming her. My dad is turning in his grave. It's absolutely making him sick.
And later, we'll leave her out of it for a minute.
Well, get her out of here then.
You don't
I
have
hope
to
you
worry.
die before you walk out that door.
No, you
deserve it.
don't.
Yes,
No,
I
you
do.
don't. No,
oh,
you
no, I
don't.
don't.
Aaron and I have talked, texted and dreamed. He wants to buy a new house. He wants to travel. He told me if I wanted a dog, I could have a dog. Aaron has always told me as soon as he gets home, he wants to get married. I have a dress picked out for the wedding. I've had it picked out for almost a year. The dress is floor length. It has 3/4 sleeves, just a round neckline, and it's lace. I picked the flowers out before I picked the dress. Lilies and red roses will be the bouquet. He said, wherever you want to be married. And I had told him, I said, the one dream I always have of him and I were walking on the beach. And he said, I promise you we will walk on the beach. If I could spend 24 hours with him and die, I would be so happy.
Well, I wouldn't be. I don't want that to happen. Kay says she can't wait for her multi-talented online boyfriend to come home from the UK, where he's stuck dealing with, well, business issues, so they can have a beautiful wedding and enjoy their retirement together. Well, one person who says she won't be going to the wedding is her stepdaughter, Kathy. And that's because Kathy says Aaron Mantini, the retired airline engineer, aviation instructor, and entrepreneur, just doesn't exist.
My stepmother, Kay, was like a mother to me. I spent every day with my mother until this Aaron guy came along. She was very generous with me. She was always buying me things. My mom bought this ring for me, a $3,000 beautiful diamond ring that I treasure with all my heart. She helped me remodel my kitchen. She bought me new countertops, cabinets, dishwasher, stove, microwave. She and I spent every day together. We were inseparable. My mother said that she had met someone and that they had dinner together and that she was very interested in him. 2 weeks after my mom had met Aaron, we went to visit my father's grave. She just acted really strange. She was like a bother to her that she didn't want to walk up here. And she walked up and said, "Hey, Willie, how's it going?" And that was it. Turned around, she left, let's go get some lunch. Everybody said, "Did you know she was getting married?" And I said, "No, I didn't know that it was that serious." I was devastated. I cried and asked her why she didn't tell me. She got very rude and told me I was nothing to her. It was none of my business. I knew something was drastically wrong. My mother told me she would never get married again, and this Aaron guy came along and that all changed. One breath she told me she met Aaron, and the next breath she said she had never met Aaron. I knew right then this person was scamming her. It got really ugly. I became very suspicious that my mother was giving Aaron money because she was selling my dad's belongings. My mother finally admitted 2 weeks ago that she was sending all this money to Aaron. My dad is turning in his grave. It's absolutely making him sick. I told my mother that I thought he was a fake, and she still to this day believes that he exists and that he's not scamming her. I want this man out of her life totally and completely forever.
Okay, I'm glad you're here. And what were you saying to her?
I hate her.
Why?
Stay out of my life. She says all this money was her dad's. Almost all that money was mine. You don't know that because you know nothing, Kathy. You are assuming, just like you always do with everybody.
You're right. You're right. No,
I
I do
know I'm right.
My father worked hard.
I
Kay.
worked hard. Don't tell me I didn't.
My dad was on the road all the time. I don't care
Your
what you say.
dad never worked any more than he had to, and I don't
Okay.
care what you have to say either. You don't know where that money came
Okay.
from. Out of my life, Kathy, please.
Yeah, you're fine.
It's
We're
what
fine.
you want. It's what you've always
No,
wanted.
that's what you want.
No.
This
I didn't.
man has come into your
Shut
life,
up, Kathy.
Kay.
You
Don't tell me to shut
Hey,
up.
He's my man. It's my life.
He doesn't exist.
You don't know that.
Let it hit you, Kay. He does not exist.
As long as he's in my mind, he exists. Go to hell, Kathy.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank
Why
you.
don't you get a life?
I have a life.
You can't hold on to anybody.
Whatever.
Hey, go to hell. I don't even want to be here with you. I didn't want to be here in the beginning.
Whoa. Okay. Your concern is what?
She has nothing left. She's living with an elderly friend in Florida. She lost her home. She has no money, and she called me 2 weeks ago and told me that she had sent him over $200,000.
My business, not yours.
Okay, is that true?
Yes, it's true. And if I had to do it again, I'd do it again. And that's none of your business either.
Okay, I'm sorry, what did you just say?
It's none of anybody's business. I'd do it again.
I was starting to get behind on my house payment. In the end, I had to sell it. The only thing I got out of it was $12,000, which I sent to Aaron.
And later, you write back, Aaron, I'm going to trust you. How much do you need?
You don't understand. I don't expect anybody to understand. I really don't care if you understand.
Kathy and Kay agree on one thing. Kay has sent money to the man she loves, Aaron Mantini. Here are all of her receipts.
Not all of them.
You've kept pretty good records. This is a lot of your receipts.
Right.
It's each one of these represents. You say this isn't all of them, but there's a lot of them. Each one of these represents a time where you've gone somewhere and either sent a wire or a transfer or something where you've sent money to this Aaron Mantini. But exactly how much? Take a look.
Approximately a month after Aaron and I met, he asked me if I could send him $500. His visa had expired, and he couldn't get any of his funds from the United States, and he hadn't taken enough money with him, which I understood. After the first time Aaron asked me for money, he asked me for more money, and I don't remember. It was a lot of money sent in those several months. I mean, it was $20,000, $10,000, $9,000, whatever. Well, at that point, I had almost $60,000 in my checking account, so it meant nothing. In July of 2014, Aaron was in Nigeria, and he needed money. Aaron asked for my credit card information. He wanted to order some things so he could sell them to make money because he wanted to come home. I sent several boxes to Kenya and to Nigeria. In July, I sent Aaron probably $45,000, yeah, $21,000. At that time, I was starting to get behind on my house payment. In the end, I had to sell it. The only thing I got out of it was $12,000, which I sent to Aaron. I told Aaron I had no more money in September. So for the last 3 months, Aaron has had other people depositing money in my account at the bank for me to send to Aaron. Right now in my banking account, I have $138.85. I think I have given Aaron in the last year probably right at $200,000. I'm feeling overwhelming love for him and missing him.
Okay, now, I want to be sure I understand this, because in March of 2014, you met Aaron online, and in the next month, you sent him just $500 for visa problems. Something had to do with his visa?
Expired.
It was expired, and he needed that. He had already had to leave Missouri and go to Poland.
Yes.
And so he needed this visa problem fixed, or he'd be stuck there.
Right.
Okay. But that was just the first, because then between April and June, you wired around $85,000 to him?
I guess so.
Did he say what for?
He said so he could come home. He said he needed the money to fix the problem and he could come home.
But what was the problem?
He never really said then, and I didn't ask.
And listen, I'm just, And we'll leave her out of it for a minute.
Well, get her out of here then.
Well, but no, trust me, okay, just let her be here for a minute, okay?
Whatever.
Well, okay, don't be mad at me.
She started this. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her.
I did start it.
Oh, the hell you didn't.
I did. I said I did.
Oh, you didn't tell a lie. How about that?
Okay, well, but you're not mad at me, are you?
I don't even know you.
Well, so you can't be mad at me.
I could, I guess.
Pardon me?
I could if I wanted to, I guess.
Well, but don't be mad at me.
I'm not mad at you.
I'm just
Yet.
here. Yeah. Yeah, okay. But you sent him $85,000. What was it for?
I don't remember. That's too long ago. I don't remember. I really don't remember.
You spent $5,000 to ship him boxes of clothes and car parts to Nigeria, and then wired an additional $45,000 for a total of around $50,000. And this was that same summer, so you sent him $50,000.
Right.
Did this make you nervous at all?
Not really. No, it didn't.
Okay, so then in July, August, you sent him $21,000, and then extended credit limit to get the money for him, wired another $14,000 in August for a total of $35,000. So we're talking $85,000, $50,000, $35,000, then another $20,000 to help with his business. And again, you don't know specifics about what it was for.
No.
You didn't ask
No.
questions.
No.
And then in October, you sent him $5,000, then you sold your home for $30,000 under value, and you netted $12,000 out of it, and you sent that money to him. So at this point, you've lost your house.
Yep.
And the equity in it,
Right.
and sent it to him.
Right.
Okay, so at this point, we're talking $218,000. Well, listen, that's a staggering amount. People are putting themselves in your shoes and thinking how they would
Where
feel.
does money get you? It doesn't make you happy. I
Okay.
wasn't a bit happier when I had that in the bank. Then I'm probably happier now than when I had that in the bank.
If he's real, I'm on your side. If he's not, I'm his worst enemy. I'll burn that son of a bitch to the ground if he's a thug.
One day I tried to get a hold of my mother, and she didn't answer. Finally, a man answered her phone, and he said, "This is the police department." And I said, "Is everything okay?" And he said, "If paramedics are on their way." When I got to the house, the police told me it was apparent that my mom had been drinking and that she had contacted them. The house looked like somebody had broken in, paperwork everywhere, drawers open. The police officer was holding these papers. I said, "What is that?" And the police officer told me it was a wire transfer to a bank in Hong Kong. It was about $50,000. And I cried. I mean, within a month after she supposedly had met this man, she's wiring him $50,000. Something's wrong.
What is your ability at your age to replace that $218,000 if you needed to?
I don't care about replacing it. I know I don't have long to live. I know that. I'm 71 years old. How much longer could I live? I'm not really healthy. It makes no difference. You live day by day. One day at a time is all anybody can live. And that makes no difference to me.
Okay. I know you're saying that you don't care about the money and that you weren't concerned about this. But somewhere along between $85,000 and $50,000, you started questioning his intentions yourself.
To a point.
Well, I've got that email because you wrote to him. You said, "Aaron, I am becoming very concerned about this money situation. Are you playing me for a fool? This may not be a lot of money to you, but it is to me. I live on a fixed income, and what I have given you is what I have had in reserve for unexpected expenses. I have no assurance I will ever get any of this back. Aaron, I am not a wealthy person, and please say you are not taking advantage of me." Then the same day, Aaron writes back, "Hello, love. Please, why will you say I am taking you for advantage of you, my love? Please understand, am trying my best to leave here, my love. I love you with all of my breath, my sweetheart. Love you, hugs and kisses, Aaron. And then the same day at 12:48 p.m., you write back, Aaron, I'm going to trust you. How much do you need?
You don't understand. I don't expect anybody to understand. I really don't care if you understand. My pants are falling up.
Okay, but what is it? But I want to understand. I want to understand, because let me tell you what I want to do. If this man is a real, legitimate guy, I have resources all over the world. The Dr. Phil show is on in 100% of the United States and in dozens of foreign countries all over the world. I have contacts, affiliates, producers, stringers, people all over the world. And if this guy's for real, then I want to find him for you. I want to get you with him. If he's real, I'm on your side. If he's not, I'm his worst enemy. I'll burn that son of a bitch to the ground if he's a fake. If he's not real, you want to know it, don't you?
I'd like to know it, but I don't care.
Right? But if he's not real, you want to know it. If he is real, you want to find him, and if he's not real, you want to know it.
It made me so upset. I don't know what I want to. All I'd like to do is walk out of here, walk back to my home, and just say, okay, it's over.
Okay, but it's not over. You're here, and I'm saying if he's real, I want to help you find him, and if he's not, you want to know it. True?
If one thing, she'll stay out of my life.
Right.
Oh, you don't have to worry. I'm out of your life.
Oh, you better believe it.
Oh, you don't have to worry.
I hope you die before you walk out that door.
No,
you don't. Yes,
no,
I do.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
She's giving me more problems than Carter's got pills.
Well, I don't care. You don't want anyone to die.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
I don't care what she says, Doctor.
You don't
Well, I don't
wish
care what you said. You've said enough, Kathy.
Well, but you don't wish
You ruin
anybody
people's
dead.
lives. Is all you know.
You've ruined my life.
I haven't never said anything. All I did is give to you, you
But
bitch.
I'm not gonna let you go on national television and wish somebody dead. You'll be sorry you said that
No, I
later.
won't.
Yes, you will, so I'm not going to let you say that.
Okay, whatever.
All right, whatever. I slapped me for you, so there you go. I'm not going to let you say it. You'll be, all right, but it was good. It was at least a start.
It's all good.
If he's not real, you want to know it. If he is real, you want to find him.
Real, yeah.
True?
True.
Did he try to log into your bank account?
He did know it. I give it to him. Oh, get over it. I believe in this man.
Did he try to log into your bank account?
He did know it. I give it to him. Oh, get over it. Hey, people hack yours. People go and take your money to steal your identity. What the hell? He hasn't stole mine yet.
What the hell do you call it?
Okay, guys. Hold on, guys. Listen.
Shut up.
If this guy is real, then she wants to find him, and if it's not real, this is a very tragic and sad situation. I mean, this is a woman on a fixed income who has lost everything that she has. So it's not a comical situation. But you gave him your bank account information.
Sure did.
And because you asked him on January 19th of this year, just this year, you said, "My love, did you try to go on my account?" Someone tried to get on 3 times at 5:38 p.m. today.
He said yes.
Thanks, love. And then he replied, "Hello, love, thanks for your email. And yes, I tried logging into your account, but I couldn't log in. And thinking you've changed your username and passwords, my love. Can you give me the new login and password so I can log in? Love you so much with all my heart." Did you give it to him?
Yeah. Sure did.
And did he log in?
I don't know if he did or not.
Was there money in there?
Not much.
How much could he have gotten if he got in?
Probably $200.
Did you say when you told him that you were out of money that for the next several weeks he was very aloof and not much to say?
He wasn't very, it wasn't like that. It was like my way of thinking. He was trying to figure out what to do. Where was he going to get the money to finish this job? Oh, so you think I'm crazy? Go get whatever.
Okay.
Hey, I believe in this man. I've had a hard life. I have had a very hard life from the time I was born. And this is nothing. I can get through anything, and I can get through this. Money is not a thing for me.
Okay, but I started this conversation with you saying I didn't want to talk about him. I want to talk about you.
Okay.
Because I remember
Right.
I said I want to talk about you because I want to know about you because it's you I care about. And if he's for real, I would want to help you find him. If he wasn't for real, I'd want you to know that because you'd want to know it. If he wasn't for real, you'd want to know it.
Right.
And despite what you say, if he wasn't for real, you'd want your damn money back.
I'll never get it back, so it doesn't bother me.
Well, it would bother me. It would bother me. It would bother me.
I can't let it bother me. I'm too old to start being bothered by things like that.
I understand. But at this point, if he's not real, then what you said to him, are you playing me for a fool? Are you taking advantage of me? Come clean. You told him you wanted to know. You'd want to know that now because you're planning a wedding right now, right?
No.
Well, you're picking dresses
I did that a long time ago.
But you were up in your dressing room today talking about it.
I was talking, it's something I did a long time ago. I was just showing the girls that's what it was. I'm not planning a wedding. I don't plan anything today, and that's it. Tomorrow, I don't know if it's going to be here or not.
Well, Kathy claims she's concerned for her stepmother's well-being, but her own daughter, Michelle, says Kathy is almost too obsessed with tracking down this alleged scammer. She kind of agrees with Kay that she's over-involved. We'll talk to her when we come back.
I don't think Kay has paid my mom's bills, but I think she has done things for my mom to help her along the way. Kay has gotten my mom a lot of nice things. My mom was very upset that Kay sent money to Aaron. I feel, is there more to it? Is there a reason why she feels this way?
Well, we're out of time today. Tomorrow, we will meet Kathy's daughter, Michelle, who says her mother needs to back off, mind her own business, and leave Kay alone. Now, we've heard a lot about this mystery man, Aaron Mantini. As Kay tells it, he has a polite and agreeable personality, loves her enough to discuss marriage, and has a penchant for romantic prose. But who is he really? We launched an extensive investigation across the country and all around the globe. And you won't even begin to imagine the information we dug up and the people we uncovered.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phill.
Why has he not sent you pictures?
He says his camera doesn't make pictures. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
Is this a love scam?
He says he was born in Belgium. That is not true.
Whatever.
Well, it's not whatever. He was not born.
Whatever. You got your point across. Kathy's happy.
I'm not happy.
Shut up.
Don't tell me to shut up.
Shut up.
Is she about to find out?
You're not alone in this.
I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know about it.
She's the victim of a catfish.
She got scammed like you did.
I don't want to hear about it. Do you understand English?
You think this is a big joke being on the show?
No, I don't.
Excuse me, do they want to see my text that you've been sending me every day that I've been out here?
Well, let them see it. Here, bitch. Go for it.
That's tomorrow.
Believe me, you will not want to miss this. Log on to drphil.com and share your thoughts on our message boards. You can also find me on Facebook and Twitter using hashtag Dr. Phill and hashtag love or shady. We'll see you tomorrow.
Today on Dr. Phill.
My ex-husband is a compulsive liar.
He's malicious. He is mean.
He's demon-possessed.
A college professor faces a firing squad of his exes.
6 months into our marriage, why did you start contacting other women on the internet?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Why did he call you the girl from the gutter?
He introduced me as his fiance.
She thought we were engaged. I didn't believe we were engaged. I didn't say that.
Did you give Tanya the ring you bought for Julie?
Yes.
I'm glad he didn't marry me.
Are you a stripper?
Yeah, I danced. So what? You knew that before.
You didn't tell me until 3 months after we were married.
Loved it. Are you kidding me? It was just more to love about you. That's so exciting. Please, are you kidding me?
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by, Dr. Phill.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
In 5, 4.
I am not giving up on you.
Go, Dr. Phill.
Winston says he was immediately smitten the first time he saw Tanya's profile on an online dating site. He thought Tanya was the all-American girl next door, vivacious, confident, and very sexy. The two had a whirlwind courtship. All the while, another woman, Julie, claimed she was engaged to Winston before he kicked her out and took her engagement ring and gave it to Tanya, who he married after just 4 months of dating. But their storybook wedding did not end happily ever after. Just 6 months into their marriage, they both say they filed for divorce. Now, Tanya says the man who represented himself as a Christian professor of a prestigious university turned out to be a master manipulator and a low-down, dirty liar.
The man that I met online is master manipulator. He uses his status as a Christian professor to gain favor and trust of other women. He makes himself out to be an amazing man. It was all lies. I'm not going to sell my soul to the devil. When we started spending consolidated time together is when I recognized that something was off with him. Winston would have some outbursts. There was one night that we were in bed and he got up and hovered over me and he screamed, "Shut the up." That scared me. I discovered that even on the eve of our wedding, he was in touch with other women and pursuing other women, and that he was still engaging in dialogue with other women while we were married. I became suspicious when I saw some interaction on his Facebook. It was a message and said, "Nice picture, and I'll call you when my parents leave." I confronted him about it and he wrote it off, and I didn't have any right to confront him anymore about it. I became suspicious that he was possibly spending a lot of money online, engaging in porn in chat rooms. Winston pretty much denied everything. I didn't trust him anymore. Winston is ill. He's malicious. He is mean. He is greedy. I think he is capable of causing great harm to others. I feel raped by him. I feel his handprints are still on me.
Okay. Now, you two met online, and it was a long-distance relationship, right?
Yes.
What attracted you to him online?
He was charming. He represented somebody that was trustworthy, and his profession and the way that he shared with me his fathering and just everything he presented to me was somebody that I was looking for.
Okay, but when he got there, you said you didn't find him attractive.
No.
He was heavier. He just didn't, it wasn't the type you would normally think about, but you liked his values, you liked what he represented.
Yeah.
So you spend a week together.
Yeah.
You go up to a lake, and at the end of that time, he leaves and says, "You're the one."
Mm-hmm.
And you said at that point you were head over heels. You had fallen.
I thought he was the one. I thought, oh my gosh, this just cemented everything that we had gotten to know about each other online.
Yeah. How long was it after that that this other woman pops up? Because you're texting him, right?
We're back and forth. Yeah, sure.
And you're texting him one night, and he doesn't answer. Somebody else answers.
It was actually, it was in the morning, I think, and we had been communicating just a tad bit, and then all of a sudden I get, this is Julie, and I've been with him for a couple of years, and we're traveling now, and my heart dropped, and I just texted back, who's this or what's this about, ? And then I got back another text message that said, never mind her.
Well, but when she responded the first time, she said, I'm his fiance.
Fiance or girlfriend, whatever it was. Yeah, I know that they were engaged. That I know now is that they were engaged.
Then he's right back to you saying, never mind her. And he smooths it over, says he's getting rid of her. She's a problem, been trying to get rid of her. They're just friends.
He just can't bring it to himself to kick her out.
She's just living with him and won't move out. And
yeah.
I hate it when that happens, yeah. Okay, so you get married, and you say the day after you got married, it's like he switched gears.
He became a different person. He gets into this mood and he becomes a different person. He slouches over or he huffs away, and he's a victim all of a sudden of everybody that is around him for some reason. I can't explain it.
So you said soon after you got married, you discovered he had money issues, porn issues, food issues. You thought he was maybe a sex addict, had mental illness.
Yep. What he presented to me was completely the opposite of who he really is.
And you bought a house together.
Yes, we bought a house together.
You thought.
Yeah, I thought.
And you understand, he tells a very different story.
I'm telling you it is.
You said this was just an investment. You said it was a marital home.
If it was an investment, then why did he move us into the house? If it was an investment, then why did he write an email to his mother, a letter to his mother when he was looking for money and explaining how I'm taking care of the projects and the utilities? If it was an investment, why was it that I was taking blueberry bushes from our family farm and transplanting them on that property? If it was an investment, can I keep going? If it was an investment, then why is it that he let my kids pick out carpeting that he typically wouldn't pick out when he has a flip? If it was an investment, why did he let them pick out paint? I can keep going on, but that's only opinion. I have facts. I have data.
I kind of wrote down a list of the lies you say he told. You said he did not put Tanya's name on the deed of the house, even though he said he would, right?
Yes.
Okay. That he communicated with other women online, even though he said he would not have these connections with these female friends.
I'm the only woman, which I would expect to be.
He did not reimburse Tanya $35,000 to $40,000 for work on the house. This is work you did.
Pre-separation.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the main things that you said were just flat out, straight up lies.
And I can prove every bit of it. Every bit of it.
Well, Tanya's husband says he thought she was the all-American girl next door until he found out that she had a very dark side. Well, we're going to meet him. We're going to find out what he says Tanya was hiding right after the break.
Tanya has a history of having affairs with married men. I had my investigator go talk to the neighbors, found out that when she was dating me, she was, involved with other men. Tanya is a gold-digging man-eater.
Winston is despicable. I can never forgive Winston for being the con that he is. I allowed myself to believe him and gave my heart to him. What Winston is doing is morally and ethically wrong. It's just disgusting.
Tanya says her husband Winston presented himself as a Christian professor, at a prestigious university, but he's really a master manipulator who she says is worse than a thug on the street. But Winston says it's really his wife who is deceptive and kept secrets about her past.
Tanya is a predator, a gold-digging man-eater. Tanya presented herself as the girl next door. She said that she had been a businesswoman in insurance and real estate. She was a farmer's daughter. The thing that I'm most angry at Tanya about is the fact that I was in love with a person that didn't exist. Tanya has a history of having affairs with married men. I had my investigator go talk to the neighbors. Found out that when she was dating me, she was, involved with other men. The neighbors described her house as having a revolving door with men going in and out all the time. Tanya is a liar. Valentine's Day, she says, I was a dancer. And my initial reaction was like, Arthur Murray? And she said, no, I was a go-go dancer. I found out she not only had danced in topless bars, strip clubs, but she had done that for 18 years. I felt like I wanted to go throw up. Tanya has filed police reports against me. She filed one for perjury, which is kind of interesting because it's something that happens when you're in the courtroom, and I've never testified in this case. The second one is for theft by deception. She's essentially saying that I'm trying to steal my house from her. The house that I bought with my money, that's in my name, that's why the police wouldn't do anything about it. I'm a college professor. She called my employer 4 times. She kept harassing them, and they didn't renew my contract. So did she have a hand in me losing my job? Of course she did. Tanya's made my life a living hell. I mean, she's cost me my job. She's trying to steal my house from me. She basically took advantage of me the way she's taken advantage of other men in her life. I just realized that this was a complete heist.
Well, Winston, how did you miss it so bad? If she is a gold-digging man-eater that is ripping you off, how did you miss it so bad?
Because of how she presented herself to me, just like she did to you today. Wearing conservative clothing, being conservative, having values, having a farm, being a farmer's daughter, that she was the team mom, she was the girl next door.
You say she presented herself very differently.
Yes, sir.
And she says the same thing about you.
Absolutely.
But you found out, just factually, are you a stripper, go-go dancer for 18 years?
When I was agile, I danced for about 10 years on and off while I was doing other things, going to school, modeling, and I've been a businesswoman until I was in the car accident after that. So, yeah, I danced. So what?
Well, Dr.
Is
Phill,
that a bad? Was that a deal breaker for you?
There's no lies there. You knew that before.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Tanya. You told me 3 months after we were married that you were a dancer.
That's your memory, but I've never had any reason to tell anybody that I've ever had any significant relationship with was told that.
Did you ask her to dance for you? You liked that and asked her to dance for you?
No, sir.
That's another lie.
So once you got married to her, what changed?
Everything. Literally, the day after we got married, we would talk on the phone for hours. We would pray together. We would do a devotional together. We would go to church virtually. Literally, after we got married, all that stopped. She was too tired. She was too busy. It all stopped.
And this Julie that you had living in your house, while you were getting engaged to her, Julie was still living there?
No. That's absolutely false.
She was not living there?
She was not.
She had moved out by then?
Yes, sir.
He kicked her out a couple weeks before that.
Okay. And did you give her the ring you bought for Julie?
No, I did. Let's put it this way. I bought a ring. I never gave it to Julie, and I never asked Julie to marry me. I used the same ring when I proposed to Tanya, yes.
But you denied that, though, didn't you?
I was never engaged to Julie.
Well, you said you bought the ring with the intention of giving it to Julie, but then you couldn't go through with it. You said on 2 different occasions you wanted to ask her, but you just couldn't bring yourself to do it.
No, the voice in my head said, don't do it.
You said you just chickened out, couldn't do it.
No, it wasn't chickening out. It was, this is not the right person.
Well, that's what I mean.
Don't marry this person. Don't propose to this person. And when I proposed to Tanya, Julie was long gone.
A whole 2 weeks before that.
Okay. And you said that Julie when she moved there, she moved down just kind of as a roommate?
Her angle was that she needed a place to stay while she looked for a job. She offered to take care of my 89-year-old mother and be a live-in caretaker for her, and suggested that, you know, perhaps I buy a larger house so that there would be a room for my mother and she could take care of my mother.
Okay. But then it did get physical.
And
romantic.
It got romantic, and there was intimacy, but it was
You told me there wasn't, by the way.
It was short-lived, and it didn't amount to much. The relationship was she was more like a roommate. I was never engaged to Julie, period.
Now, you said while you were going back and forth with her, you found out before or after you married her that she was hitting on the snowplow guy?
That was after we were married.
What
after
snowplow
you were
guy?
married. Were you hitting on the snowplow man?
Oh, my gosh, no. No. Absolutely, unequivocally, no. I don't lie.
Yes, you did, Tanya. You didn't tell me that you were a dancer until 3 months after we were married.
You loved it. Are you kidding me? It was just more to love about you. That's so exciting. Please, please, are you kidding me?
Did you find a Facebook post on his Facebook from a girl that said, "Nice picture, I'll call you after my parents leave"?
Yes. It was a private message.
Yeah.
Spam, Dr.
Of course
Phill.
it was spam, all spam.
You know, it was something that something that you get on Facebook where people are advertising. I didn't delete it because she saw it, but I mean, it was not. I didn't know the person. It was just one of these random messages. Call me and look at my pictures. Those type of things. That happens when you're on that. She's an absolute liar. I have not done any porn. I am not addicted to porn. I told her I had never been to a strip club, which is probably why I didn't recognize the fact that she'd been a dancer for 18 years.
You mean you'd never seen her?
Keep going.
No, I've never been to a strip club. I still haven't been to a strip club. The closest thing I've come is my wife.
Because you do it in the dark. You do it in the dark, that's why. Because you hide who you are. You hide who you are. And just because, Winston, just because you say all the things that you said and you're a Christian professor and you're respectable and a mentor, or you're supposed to be, it doesn't mean it's true. And I have every bit of information to prove that all these things that you've been saying about me are not true. And just because you say them, it doesn't mean that it's true. I don't lie.
Yes, you did, Tanya. You didn't tell me that you were a dancer until 3 months after we were married.
You loved it. Are you kidding me? It was just more to love about you. That's so exciting. Please, please, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, my word. Why would I lie?
Tanya, you could have been a pretty good dancer, but we were married for 6 months. That figures out to be about $6,000 a day. And I sure as hell don't believe you're a $6,000 a day dancer.
Neither do I.
Are you saying that he knew you had been a dancer before?
I told him before we were. Are you kidding? Yes, I let him know before. Yes.
Dr.
I lay everything on the table. Honesty. I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect, but I'm not a liar. I'm not a liar.
No, she's not a liar because she didn't tell me the things. She didn't tell me that she was in an 8-year relationship with a married man.
So you told him that you told him you'd been a dancer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And have you
Because I thought it all should be on the table.
Okay, and what was his reaction?
He was excited by it. He was excited by it.
Yeah. Did he ask you to dance for him?
Not that moment. Not that moment he didn't, but he did ask me to dance for him at different times, and I just
Dr. Phill, let's jump in here and say, like she said, she told the truth, but she didn't tell the whole truth. She didn't tell me she was involved with an 8-year relationship with a married man while she was still married to her first husband. She didn't tell me that she broke up 3 marriages. She didn't tell me. She told me the 1-year relationship with the guy that she was engaged to happened to be a 5-year relationship, and she broke up his marriage.
I did not. Are you kidding me? Oh, boy, get your facts straight. You know what? I'm so sick and tired of you trying to throw anything out there, just hoping that it sticks. You know why you do this? because you don't want anybody to look into your world. And you've gotten away with this up until now, Winston. Up until now, you've gotten away with it. I'm letting you know you don't make a deal with me because you're not going to find crap on me. I am standing up for myself.
I don't have to find the crap. I've already found it.
I'm standing up for everybody else. In your little bag of goodies.
Were you completely forthcoming with her about
Absolutely.
you and yourself?
This is why she can attack me.
You left nothing out.
No, sir, I did not. I was totally
all.
honest. I told her about the things that happened to me in college, that I flunked out of the Air Force Academy. After 2 years of college, I told her that that was a huge thing to me to go to the academy and then flunk out academically because I couldn't do math. But
you didn't tell me that, actually. You told me it was because of your feet or something like that. Flat feet or something.
Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we've talked about her. Now we're going to meet the woman who says she was Winston's fiancée until he met Tanya. She says, no, he didn't fall short of asking her. In fact, she says he promised her he was going to marry her. We're going to find out why Julie says that Winston defrauded her morally, financially, in every possible way. We'll be right back.
Winston portrayed himself as a man of God, but he's really demon-possessed. He's a user and a thief and a liar, and he's very proficient at it.
When I proposed to Tanya, there was no one in my life. Tanya accused me of being engaged to Julie. That's kind of like the pot calling a kettle black because she's someone who has gotten involved with married men and broken up marriages. This is not about me being a bad guy. This is about me being a guy who fell in love with somebody that didn't exist and fighting for my life now. If she could, she would basically remove the male parts of my anatomy as part of this process. And I'm not going to let her do it.
Winston says he was never engaged to Julie and considered her more of a roommate who he did not want to be around. But Julie says Winston is a liar and not only moved her into his house, but promised they would get married in 3 months. That was before he met Tanya. Kicked Julie to the curb and even took her engagement ring back and used it to propose to Tanya.
Winston is a user and a thief and a liar, and he's very proficient at it. Winston portrayed himself as a man of God, but he's really demon-possessed. I first met Winston online dating. The first time he told me he loved me, it was pretty early on in the relationship. He had promised me that we'd be married within 3 months. Winston ended our engagement by sending me a text message that said, "It's over." When Winston kicked me out, I felt so unbelievably betrayed. He was so calculating and manipulative without any remorse. I still feel scarred. Winston makes me want to rip his head off.
Don't feel sorry for him.
I don't.
Stand up for yourself.
Well, this is the first time all three of these people have been in one room together, and these two seem to have formed an alliance. Apparently, Winston. Julie, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here, too.
You are telling, we've talked about you before you were here.
I heard it all, and I just want to say that Tanya was pretty accurate in all of her statements. When I learned about Tanya, Winston and I had already been engaged since August of 2011. It was August 14th, to be exact. He introduced me as his fiancée to other people, neighbors, the dean of the university.
Why, if she thought we were engaged, I didn't believe we were engaged. I didn't say that.
Did you lead her to believe you were on a marriage path?
She led herself to believe we were on a marriage path. I did not make that commitment to her.
You said, I wanted to propose to her because she kept the house clean and forced herself in. That's a quote from you.
I was thinking about it. I was considering
That's
would
a quote.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was considering would I settle in this relationship for this person who was a friend and was helpful and was not, you know, I thought was sweet.
I'm not judging
I'm
you on that.
glad he didn't marry me.
Okay, I understand. I'm not saying that you don't have the right to change your mind, and she's happy you did. She's got a list of 26 things she hates about you.
Yeah, including counting how many seconds I brush my teeth.
And you don't take a shower long enough.
Dr. Phill, based on that list, I wouldn't want to marry me either.
Well,
all those conditions
really
didn't exist when I met him.
Did you really time his showers?
Yes, and brushing his teeth, because that was something that was a must. I must have good hygiene, oral hygiene and physical hygiene.
But you said he only showered for 7 minutes?
Yes. And that included, like, having the water warm up if he wanted it to warm up.
Yeah, but that's okay.
And, like, how do you wash such a big body in such a little bit of time?
Julie and Tanya aren't the only women who have had something to say about Winston. Oh, no. There's more. When his first wife heard we were doing the show, she wrote in and said, "Sign me up." She'll join the party when we come back.
I want Winston to be held accountable for what he's done and show the world who he really is. I want him to be held accountable because he hurts people and he doesn't care. He belongs in jail. He doesn't care what happens to me. He doesn't care what happens to anybody else that stands in the way of his evil. I'm gonna fight this monster.
Tanya has threatened criminal prosecutions against me. She and Julie have threatened to sue me civilly. So it's no surprise that Julie shows up on the show. It's no surprise that Julie shows up in Tanya's court pleadings with her statement about what a bad guy I am. I think Julie is using Tanya to get back at me. If hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, what do you call two women scorned? A nightmare.
Well, that was Winston talking about two women scorned. So what would he call three women scorned? Because we're adding another woman to the mix. Winston's ex-wife, Kelly, says her ex-husband is a compulsive liar who would not admit he cheated even after she caught him. And his stepdaughter, Marissa, says Winston has even taken her to meet his mistress.
My ex-husband, Winston, is a compulsive liar. He couldn't tell the truth even if he tried.
My stepdad, Winston, he manipulates women. He lies to them. He steals from them. I've been a first-hand witness for my mom, and I've just seen him do all of these things, and they're all true.
I was married to Winston for almost 3 years, and after 6 months, I found out he was contacting other women on the internet. I found emails saying they wanted to meet up and how he was unhappy in his marriage. It broke my heart when he did it. It was just too much for me to take.
One time when I was 9 years old, he actually took me to meet with one of his lovers. I just wanted my mom to get a divorce after that. That's my mom he's cheating on.
Before I could get a divorce, he pressured me into giving him $300,000 for his share in the real estate that we purchased with my money. I feel what Winston is going through with Tanya right now is what he did to me, and it's karma coming back to him.
I think we need to get my attorney up here.
Sure, we can have Michonne up here. Happy to have you.
Thank you.
And appreciate your being here. You just chime in anytime.
I'm going to chime in right now.
All right, go ahead.
Dr. Phill, my biggest concern is these two have a child together. And as a family practitioner, I don't want to see anything said on air that could hurt that child. How
long has it been since you two have been divorced?
It's been 10 years, 11 years?
11 years.
Yeah, okay. I think we're way past a relevant time window. I mean, at this point, do you two have an active relationship?
I think that we have a good relationship. I have no animosity towards Winston.
Yeah, that's why I know. I kind
fan.
of know what you're going to say. That's why I think you have a good relationship with him. I think Marissa also has a good relationship with him. Yeah. So I don't think they're here to character assassinate. Although they don't.
They just did. They just said that he was a liar.
Kelly, why do you say he is a pathological liar?
I say that because during our marriage, it was just one lie after another. And even any time I confronted him, after 6 months of marriage, I found out that he was contacting other women on the internet. I had it in black and white printed out. And I said, "What's this?" "Oh, that's nothing, it's all you, it's all in your mind."
He told me the same thing. Oh, you're overreacting.
He was always turning it around and saying it was me.
Why did he call you the girl from the gutter?
Let me give you the quote. He called me the girl from the gutter with money in one of his yelling rages. And years later, I still feel the girl from the gutter with money. Okay. That's what you said to me.
Kelly, I'm sorry I said that to you. I'm sorry if I offended you. I apologize. I'll say this right now in front of this whole audience. You've been a wonderful mother to our daughter. You have given her a stable home, and you have made her into a wonderful girl, and you've done a wonderful job. I appreciate that, and if I hurt you, I'm sorry.
Well, I have a question. Why did you find it necessary 6 months into our marriage to start contacting other women on the internet?
Kelly, I don't know who you're talking about.
I showed you the emails. What's
Kelly,
this,
I don't
Winston?
remember who you were talking about.
I saw the email. Actually, I found it this summer, and it was from a woman, blonde, the email, and it was saying about how she was excited to meet you and she thought about you at night. That's true. I'm here, Winston, because I think you have a problem with women on the internet, and I really care about you, and I really want you to find help or something. Obviously, all these women are saying you're a cheater, and I didn't even know that was Julie. I've met so many women that I've maybe met 6 different women. You've been engaged to another one besides these ones.
Tanya says Winston portrays himself as a pillar in the community, but is he really just something else? We'll talk about that after the break.
The paperwork.
I could never forgive Winston. I think what Winston is doing is a violation to women. He says he loves women, but he behaves in a way that he hates them.
Tanya says her husband Winston is the exact opposite of the upstanding Christian professor he portrays himself to be. Now she says she has joined forces with his ex-fiancée Julie to expose Winston for the imposter they claim he is and want to make sure he does not continue to victimize other women.
This whole situation is about the house and the divorce. The divorce has lasted longer than our marriage.
Twice.
And Tanya was never on the deed to the house. I bought the house with my money.
Purchase and sale. Who was on the purchase and sale?
Tanya,
Who was on that?
Tanya went to the auction to buy the house representing me. Based on her theory, every time I use a real estate agent and they write up a contract, they can have my house. That's her theory. It was my money that bought the house.
Theory.
It was, I'm on the deed to the house. I have been on the deed to the house.
Okay, now,
and I want one question, Dr. Phill.
Okay.
Would she have married me if she wasn't getting the house?
I would like an answer to that.
Are you kidding me?
Well, Dr. Phill, I'm not here about the house. I'm here about Winston.
All 3 of these women have one thing in common. They all wanted more from Winston, property-wise, than he was willing to give them, and they're all mad.
That's not true at all.
He stole from me.
There was a house that we put in an offer on. There was a house we put in an offer on that he wanted to move our family into, and I said I'd rather stay in our house.
Yeah, I'm not here to mediate property,
So you're
but
wrong.
And you're a lawyer also, right?
Yes, sir.
And was he a lawyer when he was married to you?
He was the dean of a law school and got fired, and I felt that's why he came out, was that he was defamed, and I felt like
careful about
I
using
was
words
the one.
like that,
I was kind of like
like
his.
what?
Fired. I mean, we can't.
He was fired. It was all over the newspapers,
It was all over the
covers.
newspapers. Well,
What are you
in my
talking about?
observation, that's what happened, was that he was fired
Well, here's
for
what was
plagiarism.
in the LA Times. A week after dismissing Winston as dean of law school official, said Thursday they also intend to fire him from the faculty because he engaged in plagiarism for an article in the school's law review.
Yes, sir.
That was in
the LA Times.
And you resigned, right?
They bought out my contract. I resigned.
$400,000, right?
There was no plagiarism.
There was no plagiarism.
Just because he wasn't charged with plagiarism didn't mean he didn't
so then
plagiarize.
3 months later, there was this article, Winston dismissed as dean of law school after being accused of plagiarism, has resigned as a tenured faculty member. School officials had said they intended to fire him from his teaching position once the faculty senate made a recommendation to the university's board of regents.
Dr. Phill, the university.
That's what they said.
That's the LA Times.
Right. I'm just saying so you can now respond to that.
I have the letter from the president of the university that said that they settled with me and I left the university voluntarily. It was a voluntary resignation. They didn't force me out. And we came to an agreement. They gave me a golden handshake, and we both went on our way, and he wished me well. That's what happened. The LA Times did not report that. I was accused of plagiarism. I've had to live with that for my life. You asked Tanya, she knew about it because I told her about it. You asked Julie, she knew about it because I told her about it.
But I didn't know that he would look at other women on the internet prior to finding out. I want to say something.
Go ahead.
Prior to finding out about Tanya, I found in his history 37 different women that he had, I don't know what degree of communication or viewing, but there were a history.
Okay,
Dr. Phill, I was single for 42 years. I am sure I have dated.
When she was living with you?
No, while you were living with me.
Yes, I was single when she was living with me.
Sleeping in the same bed.
We have to take a break, and then I'm going to come back and make a strong recommendation. We'll be right back. Kelly wanted a clarification. No, I didn't want anything from him property-wise. He took from me. I didn't want from him. You wanted that clarification. I made it. And Winston, you know, the best predictor of future behavior is relevant past behavior.
Yes, sir.
And you don't have a great relationship track record. Just based on results.
Yes, sir.
And despite your legal advocate over here, I'm not talking about legal aspects. Relationship-wise, you don't have the best track record. And I suspect that you have a difficult time with intimacy. And there is a huge difference between falling in love and being in love.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of people love falling in love because it's exciting and there's fireworks and, you know, it's that exhilaration of falling in love. And being in love is more predictable. There's sameness. There's a rhythm to it. It's not worse. It's just different.
Safety.
I don't know if that's you, but I know this. You don't stay. For whatever reason, you're not there long term. And the point is, you don't have to be in a relationship to be okay. I've said a million times, I'd rather be healthy alone than sick with somebody else.
And that's where I am right now.
Do you want to say something to him?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, I've got one word for everybody here, and that's prenup.
Okay,
I'm just a lawyer, what do I know?
For all the rest of you at home, let me just say that there comes a point where you got to say, you know, there's a time to fight, and there's a time to say, you know what, it's in my best interest to move on. And maybe you cut your losses. Maybe you say, you know what, maybe I take some lumps on this one and maybe I move on. But if you think for a minute that you're going to undo pain and hurt by getting a pound of flesh through the litigation arena, that's not going to happen. And the best revenge is living well. I want to thank all of my guests today. Log on to drphill.com and share your thoughts on our message boards. We'll see you next time.